contrast to how the first episode was very thematically driven, this one feels a lot more narratively driven. Well, that might be a touch inaccurate. It feels like there's not as much story in Zetz's second episode as there are internal mechanisms and character dynamics being laid out. Like, okay, that's how Baku's going to get the bulk of his early power-ups. It's a shame that for all his James Bond stylings, Baku doesn't seem to have a dedicated quartermaster equivalent, though there's probably a degree of meta-novelty to how a lot of the Kamen Rider merchandise is also sold in gashapon machines. That said, if Zetz's transformation course video is any indication, maybe Commander Zero is supposed to be an M and Q mashup of sorts. The secret spy entrance in Baku's wardrobe is how he'll interact with Zero when he's not asleep and dreaming, though it also brings to question how thoroughly interlaced Code is in Baku's general life without his knowing, given that there's a whole secret layer in his house. Zero is probably going to be the delivery vehicle for a lot of the exposition regarding the dreamier aspects of the show, and similarly, Baku also gets acquainted with the Paranormal Affairs division. Baku hits it off surprisingly well with Fujimi. For some reason, I got the impression that the two would start out with a more antagonistic dynamic. The detective duo seem like they're going to end up providing a lot of the exposition regarding the real-world side of things, and they already have, filling Baku in on what they know about the nightmares. I imagine that, in classic superhero fashion, Baku's going to be consistently marrying the knowledge he acquires from both sides of his double life to tackle the threats of the show. The most interesting piece of info we get is from Nox, who claims that the nightmare monsters are born of a dreamer's subconscious desire. It should probably be taken with a grain of salt, since the guy is currently billed as a villain. I doubt Nox is lying, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out to be a partial truth spun in a way that fits his agenda. It calls to question Fujimi's integrity, since he's the police officer dreaming of bombing the very institution he works for, thereby making him the source of the monster of the week. And it also ripples back and retroactively casts a new, more sinister light on Baku, because that means the gun nightmare from the first episode is derived from him.